Veterans News, and my name is Ed Allman. I'd like to thank Erica Bradley of North Shore TV for the use of her studio facilities here in Lake Success. While I'm talking about Erica Bradley and the North Shore television network, I'd like to say that they just received an overall excellence in public access award from the National Association. So congratulations, Erica. And congratulations, Rebecca. She's our professional advisor here. Our guests today are Colonel Jason Halloren, the U.S. Army, and he's a past Deputy Commandant of the U.S. Military Academy at West Point. Jason is on the Board of Directors of the Museum of American Armor. And Scott Clyman. Clyman, did I say it right? Okay. He's the Director of Events at the American Air Power Museum. And I just found out he was a Lieutenant Colonel in the Air Force for 32 years. No, 28 years. Okay. We'll talk to our guest in just a minute, but first let us remember some of the veterans who died recently. Jerry Ahern graduated from Farmingdale High School in 1944. He caddied at Bethpage State Park, and he served the nation as a sergeant in occupied Germany at the close of World War II. He was 97 years old. Robert Hink of Mineola was a graduate of St. John's University and a U.S. Army veteran. Warren Plazer of Huntington died at 90 years old. He was an Army Ranger and a lawyer, and became on a board of directors of the Guide Dog Foundation. Gerald, and here I'm going to screw up your name, Gerald, I'm sorry, Giannatasio, something like that. He was from Massapequa Park. He died only at 70 years. He was a proud Air Force veteran who served 20 years as the village justice in Massapequa Park. Robert Hughes of East Meadow died 2 days short of his 93rd birthday. He was a Navy veteran during the Korean War and later became a detective with Nassau County Police Department. William Mesla of Islip died at 98. He was a proud veteran of the newly formed U.S. Air Force, and he became a longtime route truck driver for Breyer's Ice Cream of Long Island and Long Island City. Lastly, Lou Christie was a rock and roll star of the 60s and 1963 and 64, and he was in the U.S. Army. Neither one of you men know Lou Christie, but most of our veterans, there we go, know Lou Christie. I'm honored today to have two very important individuals to talk about, and they have interesting stories to say about their two museums. Jason Halloren, you're a colonel in the Army. What did you do in the Army? And how long were you in? 32 years?
33 years.
33 years.
87 to 2022.
87. Okay, 87. I was already quite an old man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guess we're all joining you there.
Yeah. Okay. Scott, how about you?
28 years, retired as Lieutenant Colonel. I flew F-16s for 26 of that 28 years.
F-16s?
Yes, sir.
That's a big jet.
Not really that big. Nice small fighter. Nimble and fast.
Small fighter. Okay. Where did you fly?
Flew all over the world, Korea, overseas in the Mideast, and was stationed in Hill Air Force Base in Utah and also at Shaw Air Force Base for almost 20 years as an active and reserve. Active and reserve.
How about combat? You had some combat, I understand?
Yes, sir. Iraq and Afghanistan.
Iraq and Afghanistan.
Each. 2 tours of flying the combat in both.
Where were you flying from?
We flew from Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan and from Balad, which was in, just north of Baghdad. And then the last tour was flying out of Kuwait in support of operations in Iraq. Right.
What kind of anti-aircraft did they throw at you?
Primarily AAA and the threat of manpads.
AAA? Mm-hmm. That's ground machine guns.
Small arms to large caliber AAA, as well as the threat of manpads and obviously RPGs, as we both are well aware of.
So you must have been flying pretty low to the ground.
Normally we were not, but there were opportunities where we had to help our buddies on the ground, where we actually did end up flying anywhere from about 300 to 500 feet above the ground.
Wow. Jason, what did you do in the Army?
I was mainly a helicopter pilot.
You were a helicopter pilot.
I was.
Why didn't I know that? I thought you were ground bum, you know.
I would always tell my soldiers that they were ground soldiers because it only takes one rock, one bullet to bring that aircraft out of the ground. So have the mentality of a ground soldier and support in the
Yeah.
air like you are one.
Very good.
So
Where did you fly your helicopters?
all around the world, quite literally.
Really?
Yep.
What kind of helicopter was it?
I flew Blackhawks by trade and then flew armed helicopters in special operations.
You were at Eisenhower Park a few weeks ago,
Yes.
and there was a few helicopters there on display.
Yes, back the Marines had them.
Oh, they were the Marine
Yeah, Marines
helicopters.
or the Navy, one of the two.
Okay. What kind of helicopter did you fly in? Did you fly in the same helicopters that
As a similar
Navy?
variant. They flew an H-60 variant, one of Sikorsky's H-60
Right.
variants. I flew UH and MH-60s
Wow.
for multiple units.
And where did you fly them? I know you flew them all over the world. You were in combat with them.
Correct.
Where were you flying?
Iraq and Afghanistan.
What kind of missions did you fly?
Multiple in support of Special Operations Forces, either inserting, shooting for, or just straight, recon missions.
Okay. You say there was shooting? Sometimes you were firing
Yes.
your guns, or what kind of guns did you have on the?
30 millimeter cannon, rockets, 2.75 millimeter rockets, sometimes Hellfires, and then twin miniguns.
I have to get over here. Boy, you both surprised me. I didn't know that I was going to be sitting with these two heroes here. We could talk the whole show on what you did in the service, but I have a tape to show. If our director Mike can show the film from the two museums that these men are from, and we'll show them any minute now. You don't know exactly what we're going to see, but it'll be a tape from Okay. Okay, we're going to see this again. All right, if they can stop it, fine. I had another tape of the Museum of American Armor. But, so what else what does your museum do? You do anything?
So yes, sir. We're our main mission is obviously preserving both American aviation, both military and civil, the history of that, and even into space exploration as well with some of our exhibits.
Space exploration?
Absolutely. We have a lot of exhibits that were Grumman donated many space items from their participation in the space program. Obviously, we don't have any rockets or space shuttles to show. We'll leave that for the Intrepid down in New York City to take that thunder. But
right. Also, the Cradle of Aviation Museum.
I believe yes, they've got the lunar lander there. But we basically our kind of primary mission is both preserving the aircraft as well as the fact that it's where we are located. So Long Island is known as the Cradle of Aviation in history.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Long Island is known as the Cradle of Aviation, and some of those first forays into aviation actually occurred at Republic Airport, where we're based out of. So 1924 to 1926, Fairchild Aviation began in Farmingdale, followed by Grumman, actually. Actually, it didn't start at Bethpage. Grumman Aviation actually began in Farmingdale at what is now Republic Airport. And then Seversky, and then eventually Seversky became Republic Aviation, which obviously has a place in so many people's history and heart here in Long Island as one of the largest aviation manufacturers through 1987, with airplanes from World War II being the P-47, which was the most manufactured fighter of the war, to actually the A-10. That was the last aircraft they
The
manufactured.
P-47?
The P-47 Thunderbolt. So one of the most famous and workhorses, we'll call it, of World War II, both in the air-to-air, air superiority, as well as air to ground. It was actually the first tank killer.
All right.
Ironically, Republic ended that with the A-10, in production of the A-10 in the 70s and early 80s, which is still flying today.
All right. This is all very boring, but that's okay. Jason, tell me about your museum. What do you do, and where do you take the equipment? Some of the vehicles, you take them out of the museum?
We do. Over 53 pieces of working armor.
53 pieces?
Yep.
I didn't know you had that many.
Yep. There's about 80 in total, 53 completely working and operational. It's mainly focused on keeping history alive. That's what it is. Making sure that the battles of tomorrow are yesteryear are remembered tomorrow.
Yeah.
We do a lot of parades.
Okay, there's your website. I hope everyone who's watching this show can see those websites, and they can call them or call them up on their computer and find out when and where these museums are. Where are you? Where is your museum? Give me the address.
Just inside, I forget the one for Old Swamp Road, but it's just inside Old Bethpage Village and Restoration.
Right.
So as soon as you pull into Old Bethpage Village, it's the first drive on the left.
Okay. And if they go to your website, they'll get the directions?
Absolutely.
Okay. And it's the same with the Air Power Museum?
We are at Republic Airport in Farmingdale.
That's the big airport with only little planes, right?
No, there's bigger planes there too, but yes.
There is bigger planes.
Yes, they absolutely do.
Many times as I've been there, I'm always over on the side, and I just see little planes going up.
Yes, it's actually one of the busiest airports in the country. It actually has higher movements than LaGuardia sometimes.
Really?
More aircraft movements.
Okay. And if somebody wants to see your museum, they have to go to the website and get the address.
Directions are on there, and it'll take you to Republic Airport and right to our parking lot.
And it'll tell you how you can get in.
Absolutely.
If you have to pay or how much you have to pay to get in.
Yep, all that's available on the website.
All right. Jason, I interrupted you when you were talking about your 50 moving vehicles.
Correct.
How do you get them all working? 50. What's the age of those armors?
They range from World War I era up into Vietnam era.
World War I.
World War I. some
Are they just
smaller
American?
cars.
Just American
No,
armor?
we have all different kinds of armor. We will have tank enemy armor, weekends where you can come in and see, or we call it armor foes, to where you will see, hey, here was what American armor was up against. So we've got German stuff. We actually have a Renault which is really the birth of all tanks, what everything was made off of that is working, a working piece. We've got some simulated German Tiger tanks, or
Wow.
a Tiger tank. We've got M60s. We've got just a multitude of different tanks, all of which have a story, and they're used for parades.
Okay,
Or we'll have events that we use, and I think
Okay.
on the video it'll show.
good. We have a
portion of that.
video going to show. Roll it. All right.
That big gun you see, that's an 88mm gun. Coming up here on our M16 of the Suez Canal, laid there for several years now.
Wow, that was fascinating. You told me a whole bunch of stuff while the show was, while the tape was moving. Do you know what you said?
I do.
Good. Tell me again.
All right. So, with the real point of the museum is to keep history alive and to celebrate those, especially in the World War II era, from the greatest generation of what
Yeah.
was accomplished. Because let's face it, that time, World War II,
Right.
is still something that plagues us today, in lessons that we're trying to
Yeah.
make sure that we don't have to relearn. So we do that. We'll do parades, we'll do static displays, we do education seminars. Suffolk County has brought, their social studies, teachers that sometimes we'll do classes in the museum where when they're teaching about an era or this time
Yeah.
frame, they will bring the students out so they can give the history lesson, and then the students can actually, see and smell the
Yeah.
things that are being talked about.
In Vietnam, we had a few tanks, and I believe during the Battle of Hue they were used quite a lot. But most of the tanks have been phased out of the Marine Corps. Now there's no more tanks in the Marine Corps. How about the Army? They have tanks still?
Oh yes. I think I just saw something recently like that, the second or third most in the world or something like that. So
Second or third
the most-
largest tanks
yeah. Well, amount.
amount? Yeah.
Largest, it's always who's building the better mousetrap at that time.
Okay.
So
All right.
someone builds one, and then I can do one better. But I will always say that we have the better ones
Okay.
because we will always win.
That's right. Right. Do you have any thoughts on what just happened? I know this show won't go on the air until September and what might happen between now and then, who knows? But we just had the incident in the country we bombed, in Iraq, in Iraq, in Iran. What happened? The president just sent some Air Force over there, and tell me what you thought of that.
That's your planes.
That's
Yeah.
my smile in.
Yeah.
That's your planes.
Well, without getting into too much of it, what I will say is, I'll keep it simple for you, that I couldn't be more prouder of the guys that what they did. The guys that I actually knew, some of the people involved.
You knew that?
In the planning.
Ah.
No, I knew people involved with the planning, and
Right.
I knew my old squadron was actually potentially involved with it. But I couldn't be more prouder of what they did. The execution, when called upon, they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they did it to win it.
Right.
You know, that's all I can really. I mean, I couldn't say that our armed forces, the Navy, Air Force, and Army, you know, coordination in that event probably was. It was probably the first time in a long time we've had to execute that kind of global power, global reach, and I think they did an excellent job. And let's just hope it works out for the best.
Sure. They flew from the States all the way to Iraq, to Iran?
Some did, yes.
Some did? Some joined the flights?
I'm sure of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Very good. Gee, is there anything else you want to say about your museum? Your father was involved with the museum, wasn't he?
Yes, the museum was formed initially out of a group that were preserving warbirds. That's what the old airplanes are referred to, or we like to refer to them. But was in a group that was preserving warbirds, flying warbirds, owning them privately. And ultimately, in 2000, we decided to kind of come together and put together an actual state-chartered 501c3 to be able to share that with the public. And as Jason was saying, the idea of making sure we preserve the legacy of both the technology, but more importantly, the men and women who made it possible.
And your father made it possible.
And my dad was one of the founding members,
Very
or the
good.
founding member.
And it was the year 2000?
It's our 25th anniversary this year.
Very good. Very good.
So at 25 years at Republic.
Yeah, very good.
I think as Scott mentioned earlier too, that's a lot of this is made possible, or all of it really is made possible by volunteers.
Yep.
You know, the Long Island Living History Association gets involved with both of our museums to make sure that they help bring those pieces to life. The pieces either
Right.
you know of air or ground machinery, that they bring them. They help bring that to life. So.
Are your museums open every day or just on weekends?
I'll let you go first.
Yeah, so Armor's open from 11 to 3 on most days, not Monday, not open Monday, but it is on the weekends, and mainly on the weekends is when we have a number of the experiences that happen.
11 to 3 on weekends?
No, on weekdays.
On weekdays.
On weekdays, and then to 11. I got to refresh my memory on the weekend hours,
All right.
because normally the
But
events happen on
you
the weekend.
can find out
Yes.
by going to the website.
Correct.
All right.
Museum of American
The
Armor.
websites are very important.
Absolutely.
If you can see the websites, write it down or call. And I find that you don't need a real website. You just need the name of the facility, type the name in, and then it pops up.
Correct.
Right. How about you? Do you have anything to say before we close?
Well, I'll just follow up what Jason was saying. We're a Wednesday to Sunday operation, so we're open 10 to 4:30 Wednesday through Sunday, all year, pretty much all year round, except for major holidays, and unless we're closed for a private event, but that's usually announced in advance. But yeah, we operate, and just like Jason was saying, I can't reiterate how important it is. You know, being two organizations out on Long Island, the amount of volunteer support and outpouring of help we get from both our communities in Nassau and Suffolk is fantastic. And you know, I take an opportunity to thank your viewers who are in those counties. Our volunteer, we can't do what we do without volunteers. We have, as you asked earlier, we have very small full-time employees, you know, 1 to 2, both organizations, and the majority of the work that is handled and done to keep a place like both of our organizations open are our volunteers. And so it's a big credit to the community and to the individuals. And no surprise, a good portion of them are veterans, and so we really thank them. You know, it's kind of we thank them for their service when in uniform,
Yeah.
and I truly thank them to keep working hard to preserve their legacy.
Yeah, I noticed that a lot of the volunteers you have, I know they're veterans. I didn't know they were your volunteers. I didn't know they were veterans, but they look a lot younger than what I normally think of as a veteran. I mean, they're in their 20s, 30s, 40s.
Oh, we have
50s,
some of our oldest was, I think, still is in his 90s.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, very good.
Yeah. So our museum, very fortunately, was founded with a core of volunteers that actually were, majority of them were all World War II veterans.